Hello, welcome back. In this class, you will learn how to describe a picture. And you will see that this is a very important skill, because maybe right now you're just starting to learn English and to learn new words. But in the future, you may want to certify your level of English. And there are several tests that instruct you to describe pictures as part of their questions. So the more you practice in this class, the better prepared you will be for a future English test. Let's get started. Have a look at this picture on the slide. What do you see? Try to identify all possible details. And how would you describe them? Let me give you some tips and maybe some structure when it comes to describing a picture. You can start with a general description, and you can use the expressions there is or there are. There is when you want to indicate one singular element, or there are when you want to indicate multiple elements. So if you remember from the previous picture, we could say there is a house by a lake, and there are several trees around the house, right? After you do that, you can describe where things are in the picture. For example, you can use expressions like on the right, on the left, in the middle, at the bottom, or at the top. And in this example, you could say something like, there is a house in the middle of the picture, if you remember well. The lake is at the bottom, and there are trees at the top. After that, you can add detailed information. For example, in the picture of this initial example, we could say it's a wooden house, which means the house is made of wood, that material, right? You could also say that the lake is green. If you remember, it's maybe because of the reflection of the trees that we look the lake as green. And we can describe the trees as bushy because they're full of leaves, if you remember correctly. If we put everything together, which is what you would have to do in an English test, for example, you could say something like, there is a wooden house in the middle of the picture. There is also a green lake at the bottom, and there are several bushy trees around the house. Do you get the idea? Are you ready to do one activity by yourself? Perfect. Have a look at this picture. Take a few seconds there to explore all the necessary details, and remember the structure that I recommend. Good. Let's have a look. We start with a general description. Remember, there is, there are. In this case, there is a dining table, there are 4 chairs around the table, and there are some flowers. Did you notice the flowers? Very good. Where things are in the picture would be our next step. There is a dining table in the middle of the picture. Maybe it's the central element of this picture. And there is a window at the back. Did you see the window? All right. Now you can add additional information, detailed information. In this case, we could say it's a wooden table. Like in our previous example with the house, do you remember? This table is also made of wood. And you could also say something like, the roses, the flowers, are pink, and they match the colors of the walls and the chairs. There's actually a lot of pink in this picture, if you remember correctly. Putting everything together, you could say, there is a wooden table in the middle of the picture with 4 chairs around it. There are some pink roses on the table, which match the colors of the walls. Do you get the idea? Let's do another example. Have a look at the picture, pause your class for a few minutes, and follow the steps. General information, where things are in the picture, and then detailed information, and of course try to put everything together. Are you ready? Let me show you my version of the answers. General description. There is a man with an umbrella. Of course, I'm sure you saw it. It is a rainy city. evidently from the umbrella and from what we can see on the floor. And there are some traffic lights. Let's now describe where things are. The man is in the middle of the picture. He's the protagonist of the picture, right? There are some buildings on the right and some cars and traffic lights on the left. And some more detailed information would be the man is walking on the sidewalk. He's not walking on the avenue, right? He's walking on the sidewalk. The floor is wet. It must be raining. We're not sure, but we're almost sure. It must be raining. And it looks like a big city. For the types of buildings and the cars and the traffic lights, we get that impression. Put it in all together. There is a man holding an umbrella walking on the sidewalk. On the right of the picture, there are several buildings, and on the left, there are cars and traffic lights. Is it more or less similar to your own description? Cool. If your description is very different, put it in the comments. I would be happy to read it and provide you with some feedback. Let's have a look at another one. What do you see there? It's a nice picture in my opinion, and it's full of details. There are so many things we could say about this picture. Pause your class for a few seconds, have a look at the picture, and work on your description. Do you have it? Very good. Let's start with general description. It's a picture of a street market, I would say. There is a woman looking for fruits and vegetables. We may think that she wants to buy. And there are some people buying and there are some people selling. Did you see all these details? Very good. Let's give more detailed information. There is a woman on the side of the picture. The fruits and vegetables are on the right, and there is a big tree at the back. Did you see the tree? It's not very easy to see at first sight. Detailed information. The woman is in a red dress. It seems to be a warm place, right? If you look at their clothing, you might think it's not cold, it's warm. And there is a variety of tomatoes and peppers, which is what they are selling on the street market. Let's do another example to make sure you got this clear. Have a look at the picture. What do you see? Try to capture as many details as possible. Pause the class and remember to follow the recommended structure. Are you ready? Let's have a look at my answers. Let's start with a general description. This is a picture of a street market. There is a woman looking for fruits and vegetables. Maybe there is something she wants to buy. And there are some people selling and some people buying. Did you see all these? Very good. Let's now describe where things are. There is a woman on the left of the picture. The fruits and vegetables are to the right, and there is a very big tree at the back. Did you get to see the tree? Cool. And now if we want to add more detailed information, we could say the woman is in a red dress. It seems to be a warm place, right? If you look at their clothing, I'm sure it's not a cold place. It must be hot. There is a variety of tomatoes and peppers. That's at least what I saw in the market. What did you see? Let's now put it all together. And we could say this is a picture of a street market. There is a woman in a red dress on the left, and there are people selling fruits and vegetables on the right. There is a good variety of tomatoes and peppers. And you can add any other food items that you saw that they are selling in the market. Is it clear? Perfect. There is an assignment, of course, in this class, which is precisely for you to describe a picture, and you will follow the steps from more general information to more specific information. Select any picture you want. Maybe you like photography and you take your own picture. Or you just take a picture from the internet and you follow this description process. Make sure you leave notes on the discussion board so that we can all read them. And when you're ready, go to the next class.